Hello and welcome to another video. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today I want to talk about one of the most underused techniques in photography that can completely change your images. But first, let's roll that epic B-roll.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights. And I really wanna know if I will ever figure out.
So we're off to Lidwell Chapel today, and it's somewhere I've not photographed before, but I am told it is quite hard to photograph, so that'll be interesting to see what I can get out of that. So just to introduce my walking companion today, Carl. So he is a fellow YouTuber. His channel is Into the Outdoors, and do you want to talk about what your channel's about, Carl?
Yeah, just mainly me getting out, hiking, camping. I'm now into photography and drone stuff. So yeah.
Awesome. And so Carl's channel, I've been watching Carl's channel for well before I started YouTube, so yeah, just definitely go and check that out. A link in the description to his channel. It's going to have some awesome drone footage. So today he's doing the drone, so there will be some drone footage all provided by Carl, which is awesome. So the point in today, we met up for the first time today in a car park at 4 o'clock this morning. And 5 o'clock, yeah, and we were getting sunrise, so we got some sunrise images, and we headed to Teignmouth Pier to get a few more. So we actually got quite a few images, I think. I'll put some up on the screen, and then we've just come to this chapel now just to finish the day off. Just headed back the way we came. We're doing an active track on the drone there, but somebody forgot to press record. So this old chapel, I think it's 13th century, and there's a bit of a history to it. There's a monk, and I want to say like the 15th century, in the 15th century at some point, there was a monk that lured people to the chapel and then killed them and then chucked the bodies down the well. Now whether this is a real thing or whether it's just folklore, I don't know, but it's supposed to be haunted by his ghost, so we'll see if we can spot him while we're down there. So we're nearly there. It's just down here through this field and then on the other side, and we're nearly there. But I just wanted to stop here quickly because this area that we're in now, nice little woodland, loads of mushrooms here. I'm talking loads of different ones as well. So that'll be definitely a place on my bookmarks for coming back to. So there's one just here, and there's a load. You can't really. I don't know if this GoPro will pick them up, but you can see them through here. Look behind this fence. And then we've seen some purple ones and all sorts. So it's been great coming out with Carl. We've just been through the wood. We was comparing sizes just a minute ago, and he's definitely bigger. He's got about 2,000 subs. So yeah, I know what you're thinking, dirty mind. But yeah, it's good to go out with someone that makes videos and does the same as me. So it's interesting. But yeah, nearly there. So let's just head on down. So you need to watch where you step, your feet disappear. So not only am I going to be limited to where I can stand because of the uneven ground, the composition isn't looking that great. Now, we've got a little bit of dappled light coming through, not much. It's we've got a leading line going up here, so that's not too bad. So I don't know what they were referring to when they said this was a hard to photograph location, but I don't know if it was the fact that the ground's so stodgy and you can't really walk around here, or that the location itself isn't that great. Now, I mean, it is a bit of history, so it's definitely worth photographing. I'm going to go with the standard shot, which is the leading line going up to the church itself, and then I'm going to have a little look around for some different compositions, and we'll talk about the technique I mentioned at the start of the video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the leading line, which is the water, as the main focus point of this, and then the chapel or church, whatever this is, in the background. It's going to be in the top third of the image, and this will be my main focus in the water. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a stack, so I will get in focus all the way through the image. I'm on, my settings are f8, what are they? f8, 1/250th of a second, ISO 800. Now the way I'm going to do my stack, I'm going to do it handheld rather than putting my tripod up, because the floor is just horrendous. It will probably eat it. So I'm going to do it handheld. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my composition. I'm going to work out what my composition will be in camera. Then I'm going to point down. So wherever my main focus point is, which is going to be the chapel at the background. So I'm going to point down, get the foreground in focus. So hit the focus button on that. So I get that in focus. Bring my camera back up, and then I can take that shot, and then instead of having to move my camera again, I'm just going to hit that focus button again on the background, and then I'll have both shots of focus without moving the camera too much. So when I do come to stack it in post and I align the images, they won't be that far out, so it should make an okay image. So I'm going to do that right now. Oh, focal length as well will be 25mm-ish. I'll pop that image up on the screen. Still there, it's just on the other side of the branch. Just an abandonment of that photo then. I was just in the middle of taking a photo, and I could hear something on my collar, and I felt something touch my ear, and I just looked in the corner of my eye. It was a bloody hornet climbing up me. So I took my jacket off, lobbed my camera, literally there's my camera, look. Lobbed that on the floor and took my jacket off as quick as I could, chucked it down, chucked it at Carl actually, and yeah, it's crawled off my jacket and up this branch here.
Poor Keith, he just had a hornet on him.
I'm not even joking, this hornet is still here, and it's really, really annoying me, and I might even just abandon this entire photo shoot, even after all that footage I've done, because of that one hornet. I literally hate anything that flies, runs faster than me, spider. I know I do macro photography, but anything that moves that quick, and especially it's got a stinger on it. Yeah, and he's reactive as well, because Carl's just tried taking a photo of him, and he's just like gone backwards, like he knows something's coming towards him, and he's a bit, yeah, I reckon he's watching us and eyeing us up. I'm going to really quickly take some photos. So let's talk about that thing that's a game changer for photography. If you're starting out in photography, if you're quite new, even if you're experienced, you're always going to forget things, and you come back to things over time, which is, I do it all the time. I'll forget certain things, but this one thing I think is an absolute game changer in photography when you're taking different pictures. So it's an obvious one. It's one of the ones that you'll probably learn when you first start photography, but I guarantee that at some point you've probably forgotten it. And that is your perspective. So getting down low, especially, and this is specifically actually, not especially, but specifically getting down low. I'm keeping an eye on that hornet. Getting down low will completely change your image and give you a completely different photo. And the amount of times I've seen photos from people that take photos that are experienced in taking photos, and I'm not talking professionals, but just people that have a good understanding of photography that still take photos just like this, straight in front of them. And you can tell that the photo is taken like that. So I'm going to show you quickly, if that hornet does not move and doesn't land on me again, just the difference between that first shot I showed you and getting down low and taking a shot down low, what difference that makes to a photo. So I'm going to do it quickly, but I'm going to leave the camera running this time, because if I get stung, it's going to be on camera. Okay, so there's a couple of ways that you can get down low. If you have a screen that you can see what's going on, getting down physically low, or you can stick it on a tripod, get your tripod down nice and low. There's a lot of ways to do it that Some situations like this, so it's all muddy, it's a bit harder to do, trying to get down low and not fall in mud and get stung by hornets. So just play about with lower angles. Doesn't have to be on the floor, but this one specifically I'm going to be doing from almost in the water, just to show you the difference. Assuming my camera works, because I did launch it straight in the floor. So have a look. So there's a stack there of 3. Is he still there? Yeah, he's still there. There's a stack of 3. And see what I mean by the difference in perspective. Well, you can't see this, but this hornet, every time I move around a different area, he turns and faces me. This thing's got it in for me, and I'm not hanging around. This was the most hardest location to photograph, and that's probably why. I'm going to chuck some images up though of 2 perspectives, just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about here, because I didn't really get a chance to prove my point. I'm just trying to sneak past him while Carl's got the drone up. Yeah, I don't know. I ain't a fan of hornets, as you can probably tell. So I'm going to pop a few images up and then I'll sign off when I get out of here, because yeah, I'm not hanging around, I'm off. Right, so I have abandoned that location, so hopefully you didn't have too much invested in it. So today's video is about getting down low and shooting things down low, and I couldn't hang around that hornet any longer. I had to leave, and on the way back to the car I found the perfect specimen to demonstrate just that. And here it is, a beautiful brown mushroom. Now, the normal way to photograph a mushroom is down low, but as your average photographer would take a shot from above. So it's very easy to grab this shot from above here. Just grabbing it like that. It's a nice photo, it's a photo of a mushroom, but if we come down lower and get that shot lower, we're going to get a much nicer image. So definitely try getting down lower and implementing that into your photography. Again, if you've forgotten to do it, it's very easy. I like I said, I'm guilty of stuff like that anyway. But just, yeah, really emphasize that. Get down low and shoot from a new perspective. So what a perfect specimen to end this video on. Now, let me know in the comments whether you forget this basic techniques. It's very easy to get carried away and just go out taking photos and then forget the things like leading lines, rule of thirds, all those things, especially when you're starting out in photography. And even me, I've been doing it for quite a while and I still forget occasionally. I think to myself, I should have just got down lower and got that shot. Have you ever done that? Let me know in the comments. So it just leaves me to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the hornet. I did not, and I'll catch you on the next one.